Hello, this is Prince of Somnia, and I probably should be studying on Let's Play Pokemon FireRed. Nah, I don't feel like studying right now. I'm gonna record instead. Anyway, last time we defeated Brock and got the running shoes, so now we can move even faster, and this time we're gonna be heading out into Route 3, and there's a whole bunch of trainers we can find around here. Most of them aren't required, so I think I'm just going to go and fight them all off-screen. Well, not all of them, but the ones that aren't required I'm going to fight off-screen. And I'll just cut all those out, and we'll be on our way. But this guy we do have to face off against. But before I do that... Oh! Whoops, I forgot to heal. Nah, I'll do that later. I want to start this video off with a bang. Or a bug catcher. This guy won't be so tough. Bugs speak to fire, and wow, Neil's just gonna light him up. So to speak. At this point in the game, I'm probably not going to be using Piggy that intensively. I might keep him around and use him in certain situations, but now I really do want to focus on Neil more so than any other Pokemon on the team. So, yeah. So, before you head out into this route, I want to say, there's a dungeon at the end of this route, and you may want to pick up some supplies beforehand, but I think I'll just run back to town and get them anyway. Anyway, yeah, with the Mew, we'll make pretty short work of these guys. Now, this guy isn't a required trainer, but I do believe he has something famous to say. Yep, shorts. They're delightfully comfy and easy to wear. I don't know why, but that line seems to be ridiculously popular in the Pokemon fandom. This is the route where there's like two trainers like that, or maybe not trainers, but there's two people on this route that say something that's pretty famous among the community. I don't know why it's this route that gets all the special treatment. Anyway, there's our first instance of seeing Quick Attack. It's something called a priority move. It's basically, regardless of the speed of either party, priority moves will go before non-priority moves. And there are moves that have an even higher priority than moves like Quick Attack. There's also moves that have lower than normal priority too. So yeah, you gotta watch out for those. Quick Attack and stuff like that are particularly annoying because Pokemon who use them like getting you down to their red and then finishing you off before you get a chance to do anything. Not that I'm all that worried. Ooh! Yeah, at level 13, Charmander will learn Metal Claw, so if you didn't catch a Mankey and you started with a Charmander and you've been struggling with Brock, get it up to level 13 and it'll start doing more than a little damage. It's still kind of risky, but it's better than nothing. Ah, nuts. Well, so much for showing off Metal Claw. That's Ekans' special ability Intimidate. It lowers your attack by one stage. So, yeah, Metal Claw is a Steel-type move, and Steel is physical damage, so it's not going to do so much. So let's just keep setting these guys on fire! Don't poison me, don't poison me. Thank you! Oh, come on! And yes, I know, Ekans spelled backwards is snake. Whatever. Everyone knows that. Ekans spelled backwards is snake. Arbok spelled backwards is cobra. Muck spelled backwards. Never mind. Well, I didn't mean to get into a fight with this trainer, but well, now I suppose I can start getting into the Pokemon on this route, since, well, there are Pokemon on this route. So the first two we've got here are Pokemon that basically they're kind of like a pair of Pokemon. You've got Nidoran male and Nidoran female. They're two separate species of Pokemon, even though they seem to be just like gender variations of the same Pokemon. See, back in Generation 1, we didn't have, well, not really, they didn't have genders. So if they wanted gendered Pokemon, they had to split them into two different species. So anyway, Nidoran male, which is more likely to be caught in FireRed than it is in Leaf Green. Basically, the more offensive of the two. It's got slightly higher attack, special attack, and speed in exchange for slightly lower HP, defense, and special defense. This is compared to Nidoran female, which has higher HP, defense, and special defense than it does attack, special attack, and speed. So yeah, the difference isn't actually as large as you might think it is. It's actually pretty minor. But I mean, it's still significant, and both of the Nidorans can be pretty darn useful Pokemon on the team. Just a fair warning though, that they're two Pokemon that evolve into their final form via stone. I didn't talk about this with Pikachu, I forgot to, but some Pokemon evolve when you give them certain stones, and generally those Pokemon will not learn any new moves after you evolve them with a stone. So if you're going to be using either of the Nidorans, keep in mind that you're going to need to teach it a whole bunch of TMs to make it really worth your while. And that's also compounded with the fact that TMs are single use, so yeah, you can't just use them infinitely many times. No, you have to ration them. But that being said, I think it's totally worth it, because out of all the Pokemon that evolve with stones, it's one of the more useful. Both of them are some of the more useful ones. So yeah, you know, I'd recommend you pick one up. It's poison type, it becomes poison ground type later in life. It's pretty nice. It's also got Poison Point as an ability. It's like Pikachu's Static, but it poisons instead of paralyzes. It's not as useful for like catching Pokemon, but it is useful for like wearing Pokemon down. Anyway, before I go back to Route, how many potions do I have? 5 is enough. And 3 antidotes are enough. I think to save on trips, I'll just buy them here. Absolutely pick up some repels while you're here. You will need them. It's not very many repels. I'll roll with it. But yeah, that dungeon we're coming across, there are wild Pokemon all over the place, and well, eventually I'm going to get seriously annoyed from running away from all of them. So, repels. So anyway, let's keep going. Ah, damn it. I didn't mean to fight this one, but well, you have to fight either him or the last. You can't just not fight one of them, or both of them. You have to fight one of the two of them. So I guess in this situation, fighting the bug catcher is better because, well, I've got Igneel over here. Let's see. Anyway, the next new Pokemon you can find in this route after the Nidorans is Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is basically a normal type, a pure normal type. It doesn't get its secondary typing until a much later game in the series, and it's basically got HP and not much else. As far as damage sponge Pokemon go, it's not really the best just because it doesn't have that great defenses. I think you can catch it with Sing, which puts Pokemon to sleep. Not that Sting actually has that great of an accuracy stat, although for some reason whenever the enemy uses it on you, it feels like it's doubled in accuracy. Don't know why. Feels kind of unfair, but oh well. And like the Nidorans, in order to evolve Jigglypuff into its final form, you need a Ruby Stone to get up to it. So, and once it evolves, it will not learn more moves. Another thing, this is also something I forgot to mention with Pikachu's bio, is if you look onto the evolution section of the bio, you see a Pokemon next to Jigglypuff. That's what's called its baby form. Pikachu has one as well, but you cannot get it until till after the end of this game. So don't worry about it. It's not technically part of the Kanto Pokedex at all, so you don't need to worry about catching it because, well, you actually can't. You can't trade it to this game because the game prevents you from doing that, and you can't use another mechanic to get it into the game because, well, the mechanic won't come into play until after you beat the game anyway. So anyway, let's take on this bug catcher. That's all for the new Pokemon on this route. There are more in the dungeon we're coming across soon, but I'll go over them when we get into the dungeon itself. Oh yeah, I should mention, if you didn't get a chance to catch a Spearow back where we fought Blue the second time, don't worry about it. You can catch them. There's a lot higher chance of finding Spearow in this route, so I think it's like a 35% chance or something like that of finding them in this route, so if you didn't get them then, you can get them now, and I really do recommend you catch at least one if you're going for finding as many Pokemon as you can in a single playthrough. Or if you want to use it, I recommend you catch one here. I don't believe she's a required trainer, but I think she has Pokemon that we're looking at that's new to this route. Yeah, she does. She has the Jigglypuff I was talking about. Oh, I hate Jigglypuff. If your Pokemon is of the opposite gender than Jigglypuff, do not use physical attacks on it, because it has the ability Cute Charm. It works like Static and Poison Point, except it gives you the Infatuation status, which has a pretty decently high chance of making you lose a turn. One of the really irritating things about status effects like Confusion and Infatuation is that they stack with major status effects like Paralysis. So if you got someone confused and paralyzed, they basically have a 75% chance of sitting there the whole time. Or you could just sweep her. Oh, snap! Yeah, once you get a Pokemon like Charmander up to level 16, we've got Evolving. Yeah, that's pretty much why I've had Big Needle up front for quite a while now. I wanted to get it up to level 16 so it would evolve into Charmeleon. If you've been having a lot of trouble with Brock, just grind your way to level 16 and you won't have trouble anymore. Trust me. Let's take a look at its stats. Yeah, much higher now. You look at that, it's got as much attack stat as someone that actually has attack as its major stat. And got 34 special attack. Holy cow. Man. Yeah, evolution basically is like a huge boost in power. And this isn't even its final form. Anyway, yeah, so that patch of grass is where you want to go to capture the Pokemon I mentioned in this episode. But, well, there's another one over here, but I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. That tunnel from Cerulean takes a lot out of you. Remember this for later, because I'm going to point out something about it in the next, not the next episode, maybe, well, it might be the next episode, I don't know, but soon. So anyway, up here is Route 4. There are no Pokemon on this route, not on this side anyway. There is a Pokemon Center over here though, which is kind of weird now that I think about it. I think this game and Generation 2 and its remakes, are they the only ones where you have Pokemon, or Pokemon Centers in the middle of routes? Because I don't seem to remember them being in other games. Usually it's like, it's not a Pokemon Center, it's like a house where you can go in and rest. Like they do in black and white and black and white too. So let's talk to these people. Oh. Nah, don't buy it off of him. I'll go over Magikarp later when you're actually really supposed to get him, but for now just pass up his offer. It's not worth the 500 Pokédollars at all. Don't let him convince you that it's the strong Pokemon, because it's not. Well, okay, it kind of is, but only if you get it to evolve. If you do want to get it now, because you're too impatient to wait until you can get a chance to catch it for real, you can buy it off of him and then switch train it. Set it into the front of your party, and then in the first round just switch it out for another Pokemon, grind it up to level 20, and it'll actually become remotely useful. But it's not really that worth it, and the end result isn't actually that great, so yeah, I mean, it's nice, and it's a pretty good Pokemon to have, but it's not like, oh, you should really get this now sort of a deal. There are better options, to be honest. Disregard it completely if you have Portal also. But now, anyway, what we need to do is we need to go into this tunnel, Mount Moon over here. But before I do that, there's something I want to catch in here. So I'm just going to meet you back when I find it. Aha! Here it is! The Pokemon I was looking for, Nidoran male. Remember how I was talking about how the Nidorans are actually pretty good? Well, they are, and I want one. Now I personally don't really care which of the Nidorans I pick up, because, I mean, yeah, there's a bit of a difference between them, but to be honest, the difference is kind of not that big. It's like a small loss in offense if I got a Nidoran female compared to a Nidoran male, but, well, either way, both of them are pretty darn good. I got Nidoran male because in Pokemon FireRed it's a lot easier to find Nidoran males than Nidoran females. It's like a 15% chance for male and a 1% chance for female. And in Leaf Green this percentage is flipped, so yeah. Anyway, Nidoran male is going to become a permanent part of my team, so alright. Did we get him? Nice. So there it is, Nidoran male. And let's give it a name that I think is pretty darn fitting. Dude. Yeah, that works. And we got poison because of poison point. So let's go and heal that off. I do like poison point as an ability, just because poison as a status effect is just so great. And we have a way of applying it without even taking up a slot for a move that actually does outright poison the opponent. Although there is a move later in the game that's really, really good for that reason. But I'll talk about that when we get to it. So anyway, let's put Duke in front there. And let's head off. Again, we're supposed to go into Mount Moon, but I want Duke to get a little bit more experience, so I'm going to clear off all the trainers on Route 3 off-screen that I haven't cleared off before, and I'll just meet you when I'm finished or if I find something interesting. Oh, okay. So while taking on a whole bunch of these trainers, I checked this spot right here, and I got an Oran Berry. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but that's the wrong name. But yeah, when you collect a berry, you got a berry pouch here in the key items. Basically, berries, they're held items that you can give to your Pokemon, and sometimes in certain conditions, the Pokemon will actually use these berries in the middle of a fight. So you've got Oran Berries, which restore 10 HP, and Persian Berries, which lift Confusion. And if you're playing the original version of the game, berries don't exist yet, so don't worry about that. At least I think they don't. Do they? I don't think they do. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, I've only got one trainer left to fight. Hey, I like jeans. Oh, shit. This could be kind of tough. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, no. Yeah, sometimes those 2 to 5 hit attacks fill me with dread. My friend who lives like a couple doors down from me has a sync Chino with skill link. Makes all those. It's an ability that only exists in like future generations, but it makes moves that hit 2 to 5 times always hit 5 times. I get nightmares just thinking about that thing. Apparently I fought more of these guys on screen than I actually thought I did. Whoops. Oh man, I did that far into the video, huh? Well, I can afford to keep going. Make this a bit of a long video, like all my other ones. If you hear a noise in the background, well, I don't know what it is. I think my radiator's freaking out on me or something. There's like thudding going on from over there. I don't know why. It does that sometimes. I wish it wasn't doing it when I was recording, but there's really nothing I can do to stop that. Except, get a better mic, but I actually need to get paid to get a better mic. Anyway, that's not any of your problems. Did I collect this already? Oh, right! Oh, that must have been the Persianberry. I don't even know where the berry pouch even came from. It just like materialized within the bag immediately upon collecting our first berry. But anyway, enough screwing around. Let's head into Mountain Moon. So this is our first real big dungeon in the game, after Viridian Forest, which was kind of like an intro dungeon. We've got a cave. Basically, in caves, you walk around and you always have a chance of running into a wild Pokemon. It's basically like an entire room filled with tall grass, except there's no tall grass. But anyway, just then we picked up PM9 Bullet Seed. It's another one of those 2 to 5 hit moves that I was talking about. It has it's basically a base 10 power grass type move that could be a base 50 move if you got really, really lucky. It's not that good at all, to be honest. I mean, maybe teach it to your Bulbasaur or Ivysaur if you actually made it that far. It's up to you. But here we've got the first of new Pokemon, Geodude. Yeah, we found these in the gym, but we couldn't actually catch them until now, so... Anyway, Geodude is very, very defensive and actually surprisingly offensive. If you get it all the way into its final form, which you... Well, I don't know, you might be able to, but I know I won't be. Geodude is an example of a Pokemon that you need to trade to evolve. That basically means... Well, probably it means you trading and then trading back with a friend to get your Pokemon to evolve all the way. I can't do that because of the way I'm playing this game. I don't have anyone to trade with, so... Oh well, but if you do have someone to trade with, then you want a physical wall, then I guess Geodude would be nice. The only problem is that it's only a physical wall. Well, not only a physical wall, but it's only good for physical walling. You throw it up against something with special damage, and it'll pretty much go down very quickly. It's also a bit of a problem for the next gym and the 4th gym, because both of those gyms are 4 times strong against Geodude. And that's a serious problem. Quad weaknesses are pretty crippling the more them you have on a single Pokemon, so you really want to watch out for that. Even with Fire Flying, your crippling weakness to rock is an issue, but it's an issue that's easily remedied by running into even more random encounters. Like with this Zubat, get used to seeing these. If you don't have any repels, you will be running into these over and over and over again. I'm not even kidding, there's literally a 69% chance of finding them on this floor. Oh wow, are you serious? I turned around! Come on, game! But anyway, the thing with Zubat is that if you try to catch it right now, it's basically useless up until it learns Wing Attack, in which case it actually starts becoming surprisingly good considering how common Zubat is. It's pretty darn fast, and it actually hits surprisingly hard, and Poison Flying resists a whole bunch of pretty common types, so yeah, if you really want to, you should go after one. One thing I will warn you is just like the baby Pokemon I mentioned earlier, the final form of Zubat is completely unattainable within the main storyline of this game, so if you were planning on getting a Crobat, don't, because you will never ever get it, no matter how high you raise that friendship level. Which is really, really suckish, because you can't take advantage of Crobat's really, really good stats, and actually, just because of the fact that you can't access it during the main storyline, the base stats you see there for Zubat's bio are Golbat's base stats, not Crobat's. So, yeah. Anyway, let's put up a Repel. No, the Repel might not actually help. Anyway, we don't actually need to fight this guy, so I'll just take him out off screen. Alright, took care of him. Duke gained a couple of levels there, he's now level 11, which is pretty nice. Nidoran males, they evolve at level 16 into Nidoritos, and then they evolve further after you give them a Moonstone, which is actually going to be pretty soon, because, well, spoiler alert, Mount Moon has Moonstones. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, I believe this trainer has a Pokemon of interest. So, let's check it out. Yes, we've got Clefairy, which you can actually catch in Mount Moon. Unlike Jigglypuff, Clefairy is actually pretty useful. It doesn't have nearly as much HP as Clefairy does, but on the flip side, its stats are a lot more well-rounded with emphasis on special defense. Now, as a fair warning, its only ability in this generation is Cute Charm. It doesn't get the really, really good ability until later generations, but Cute Charm is still pretty good or annoying depending on which side of it you're on. Just like Double Slap. That was not Double Slap. That was more like a Triple Slap. But anyway, like all the other baby forms, its first form isn't available in this generation. But to evolve it, you need a Moonstone. Am I seriously gonna lose to a Clefairy? Come on! Well, I mean, they are the Slayer of Dragons. Well, maybe not yet, but soon. I need better potions. Oh right, I am kind of hammering away at this thing with physical attack, or special attacks, aren't I? Don't do what I was doing, viewers. You want to hit it with physical attacks. I mean, as long as you don't get growled. Actually, now I think I do want to use Ember. Metal Claw has a chance of missing. Ember doesn't have that chance. No, it's not like perfect accuracy, but it's got 100 accuracy. So there you go. Another warning about Clefairy is that it is extremely rare. On most floors of this dungeon, you've got about a 1% chance of finding it. So, yeah, that's a serious issue. So anyway, let's head down here. You don't actually need to head down here, and if there's stuff you can collect down here, I probably won't know of it, because I'm not going to go down these holes most of the time. What is down here? Oh! Oh, never mind. Okay, I actually will go into down some of these holes. Before I go and face off against that mysterious stranger over there. No! Oh! I keep forgetting that you can't heal your Pokemon from the Pokemon menu. Yeah, let's heal up a little bit, though. Oh, the screen just pans up because, like, they can see you from all the way up there for some reason. It feels like cheating. I don't know. But anyway, while we're taking down Team Rocket Grunt over here, that's his name. His name is Grunt. I'll go over one more new Pokemon. In those little side path tunnel things, you have a 100% chance of finding Paris. And basically, Paris is only useful for HM moves. Its stats do look decent enough, except for the fact that it's ridiculously slow, but you gotta keep in mind that it is 4 times weak to fire and flying. And that's very, very bad, because, well, like I said, the less 4 times weaknesses you have, the better. And, yeah, it doesn't even have a great stat to make up for the fact that it's 4 times weak to fire, so, whoops. I should make a note of this. Its ability Effects 4 has a pretty terrible description in this generation. When it says leave spores on contact, it basically means it effectively works as static. It works as static, poison point, and, well, if there is an ability that puts you to sleep on contact, it would be a combination of those 3. It has a chance of putting either of those status effects on to any Pokemon that comes in physical contact with it. So don't attack it physically. Now, even though it's not really useful for battling, I do recommend you capture a Paris because it can learn both Flash and Cut, and eventually you're going to need those HMs, so it'd be nice to have around. Alright, we got Team Rocket Grunt. Yeah, basically Team Rocket, they're the antagonists of this game. And you're going to be coming across them a whole lot. Oh, Star Piece. That's basically an item that you can sell. It's not really used for anything else. Is it this room? I thought it was this room. Oh, this is probably another Zubat. Yeah, it's another Zubat. No, at least now Duke is higher level than any of the Pokemon in here, so the repels will be really useful. I thought it was in this room. Or is it a room that looks just like it? Am I not higher? Aw, come on! Aw, come on! Well, there's a chance to catch a Paris, I guess. Aw, nuts. Do I have I don't think I have Paraliz heal. Oh, I do. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna catch the Paris. Or it could just break free. What? Aw, man. I thought I had it. Aw, nuts. Come on, catch the thing. I want to end the episode. There we go. Oh, if only we had Pokeballs, it had a higher chance of catching. But sadly, we do not. Yet. Tachukazo mushrooms, huh? I got one. There it is. Let's press select a couple of times. Here we go. And there we go. So alright, what else can we find here in Mount Moon? We'll just have to find out next time on Let's Play Pokemon FireRed. See you guys then!